Hey guys, what's going on? It's TG Gent or TL Gent 64, whatever you want to call me, and we're back again with another video. Now, this is going to be kind of a more of a chiller, calm video, and this is kind of what I've learned from having 5,000, like over 5,000 subscribers, almost 6,000 on my main channel, and over 1,000 on my second channel. Now, I realized something. I was talking with my buddy Thrarm Clips. I know you guys know who that is. Like, if you watch me, then you watch Thrarm, right? So basically, I was talking with my buddy Thrarm earlier, and he gave me some good advice for the kind of content that I make. So, randomly, I just kind of asked him, like, hey, man, how do you think this is gonna, like, work out long term? Like, with me doing these drama videos and stuff like that. And he told me that eventually, you know what I mean, these videos are gonna start to get kind of like repetitive, or like, you know what I mean, like you might get exposed yourself, you know what I mean, like with one of these videos. And that was actually a pretty good point, because when you think about it, you know what I mean, that does kind of happen with, like, commentary YouTubers aren't safe from getting exposed either. Like, just because you talk about other people getting exposed doesn't mean that it can't happen to you. And that actually, I kind of got that phrase from a video that a YouTuber by the name of Blue Ice made. Uh, and he said the issue with these commentary YouTubers. Now, he didn't say that in the video, but like that was what the title had said, right? So I watched the whole video, and he actually brought up some pretty good points. There was this YouTuber named Agerox that he mentioned in the video. He made a video about Chris Tyson, and in the thumbnail it was a picture of Chris Tyson with the text "She was only 14" next to his like face, right? So I watched through the whole video, and nothing in that video did he mention about Chris Tyson doing something with a 14-year-old. Now, that's not really the only example either. I know you guys know the YouTuber by the name of Poncho, probably. He made a video talking about the Manny Show's kind of response to, like, falsely copyright striking another YouTuber by the name of Inguine for making a video, like, calling him out. But the Manny Show defended himself in his video, saying that he had hired someone to handle monetization, and they had took down the video. So, you know what I mean? And Poncho was using the Manny Show's video, like, a lot throughout. Like, he wasn't really reacting to it. He was using mostly, like, the Manny Show's video with, like, little, like, bits of him saying something, like, throughout the video. And it's right over 8 minutes long to get that, like, those mid-roll ads, right? So he brought up a couple of good points against these YouTubers, like Sunny V2. And this is actually something that a lot of people say about Sunny V2. Sunny V2 will take, like, a small controversy and turn it into something bigger than it kind of needs to be. And that I can actually understand. I can understand that. Is because he does kind of do that a lot. Even then, like in the comments of Sunny V2's videos, you'll see that. Like, it'll be like Sunny V2 is the only person that I know that will make a documentary on something that someone that barely anyone even knows about. Like, I don't know if you if any of you guys like watch Sunny V2, you'll know that he made a video on this guy named George on the Logan Paul podcast about, like, how, he was getting, like, made fun of for, like, leaving the podcast when he was getting roasted on it. And, like, I feel like the thing about that is that, like, you can make videos about controversy or whatever. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? You just have to kind of do it in a good way, like Moist Critical, like Moist Critical from, like, Penguin Zero and stuff like that. Some Ordinary Gamers, they do it pretty well. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can do that. Just, I recommend staying neutral on most controversies, right? Like, I recommend kind of doing that so you don't put yourself in the middle of it by picking sides. It's because if you pick sides in drama and something comes out and it turns out that the person you picked a side for is wrong, and they were not, like, you know what I mean? Like, so let's say, for an example, let's like a big YouTuber. Let's say like Derpadun gets exposed, right, for, like, being like a fraud or something, like scamming his fans or whatever, right? And the people, like you pick the side of the people accusing him of doing that. And it turns out, like, more information comes out. He makes a video responding to it, debunking these claims. And it turns out that he didn't scam his fans. And the people accusing him were, like, they weren't doing it. Like, they were basically falsely accusing him. Then, yeah, you're not gonna look very smart. Same thing happened with the Hypercrystal and Odyssey 10 situation. Like, with that, like, a lot, like, now, with that, people were kind of split in two, I guess. Like, people, like, there were some people who believed, like, Odyssey 10, and there were some people who did not, and were on Hypercrystal's side. And the tricky part about that is it's a huge YouTuber, not a huge YouTuber, because I think around that time, he didn't have 100,000 subscribers yet, but it's a bigger channel versus someone with, like, okay, so, for a comparison, it's like a channel with 75, 80,000 subscribers, like, against someone with 10,000 subscribers. It's a significantly, like, low amount, right? That's like, what is that? That's like 60, 70 more, like 60, 70,000 more subscribers. It's a big number, bro. It's a huge number. So, it's like, there's a little bit of an audience overlap. So, like, there were definitely going to be a good amount of people who just believed Hypercrystal. It's not even that situation alone anyway. It's kind of situations like that in general, right? Like, that happened a little bit with the Greeny guy situation, right? Like, it didn't happen as much, and that's just kind of because how, like, Greeny guy, bro, that dude made, like, one of the best object shows in the better half of the freaking decade. So, trying to expose a guy like that, and he didn't even do anything wrong, right? Like, so, like, imagine if he actually did do something wrong, but he didn't, right? Someone tried to expose that guy. It is not going, like, I don't know what the person trying to expose him thought was going to happen, but still, there were, like, a few, like, not, like, probably, like, under 10. They're, like 3 idiots who, like, actually fell for it and, like, jumped to, like, that's why you shouldn't jump to conclusions whenever someone gets exposed and believe the opposing side trying to expose them. Because, look, I don't have Twitter, but I saw this tweet of someone, who, like, replied to the tweet, exposing Greeny guy, having a whole thing about a 6-step freaking process to watch animatic battle legally without supporting Greeny guy. Like, you had to freaking go on a YouTube MP4 website, like, copy the link, download the video, play it in your folder just to watch the show without supporting the creator. If that isn't meat riding, bro, I don't know what is. Like, how, like, no one's going to do that, man. And it's like, okay, bro. Like, look, you can, I mean, like, picking sides, I mean, like, what are you really going to do about it, right? And I still don't recommend doing that. But going this far on the opposing side is just, it's just dumb. Like, why do that? Don't, like, okay, look, let me try to make a little bit more sense. So, like, if someone's getting exposed, right, I recommend staying neutral. Don't be on anyone's side. Like, don't be on the creator's side. Don't be on the person exposing the creator's side. It's because when that kind of stuff first comes out, you don't know about it. Or you do know about it, but, like, you don't know everything about it because you're not involved, right? So, like, unless you know all the details about this situation in full, then you can pick a side, right? And Thrarm himself actually brought this up in his Sakri Stuff video that he made addressing the Sakri Stuff situation a while back. And he said that, like, when the whole Quite thing happened, he picked a side against Quite, and when the Dream thing happened, he picked a side against Dream. And I did that with a couple of dramas too, like, outside of the OSC before. And I don't think that's a good idea to do that, is because turns out, like, when Quite got exposed, he was innocent, right? Now, Dream was a little bit more tricky. I mean, like, it wasn't as bad with him. But it's like, when Quite got exposed, right, it was really, really bad. People immediately took the side against Quite. Is because when allegations come out against a creator, people automatically, believe the victim. They just do. they automatically believe the person accusing, which sometimes, in fact, probably more often than not, the person accusing might actually be right, unfortunately, and it's a sad thing nowadays. But I do recommend staying neutral until all of the information comes out and then form your own opinion about it. Just like with the Greenie situation, just like with the Hypercrystal situation, kind of with the book note thing too, is because the book note thing in and of itself is a whole mess. Like book note got exposed by the Derek guy. Like a bunch of people, including myself, made videos about it. Attacking like kind of like dogging on book note. And book note came back with a response document, basically destroyed bro's entire career, and like in a funny way, kind of flipped it back on the guy. Like that's something that you don't see like that. Like, that is not a common thing at all. Like, where someone gets exposed and then flips it back on the person exposing them. Because I don't know if you remember this, but when Booknote responded with a document, everyone turned against Derek, bro. Like, everyone did. And it's not like everyone, but, like, a lot of people collectively got together to just, like, fucking shit on this guy, bro. Like, a lot. And now, I don't really want to state my own opinion on that, because, like, that's a really kind of tricky situation, but, like, you know what I mean, it was crazy, right? And then there was the Hypercrystal thing, but that, like, Hypercrystal and Miles were objectively wrong, like, and even that, so, I think, because a lot of people come up with theories about, like, why they tried to expose Odyssey 10, my main theory is that they did this is because they were worried that he was going to get bigger and more respected, like bigger, like and kind of like more respected than those two, and that might have actually been true. Like if he never would have got like exposed and would have continued making videos all throughout last year and this year, he probably would have became a bigger YouTuber than one of them, like. Just considering the amount of traction that he was getting back then, too. Like, bro really had one of the biggest comebacks in OSE history. Like, nobody else had a comeback that big, like, in the OSE ever. You cannot change my mind. Like, there's been people who have came close to it. Like, Booknote kind of came close to it, I guess you could say. Is because Booknote kind of flipped it back on the person who accused her of grooming. And made it like, this was like, okay, yeah, this guy is also a pretty, like, what I did was wrong, but this guy is also a bad person. Like, because I remember a lot of people were like, oh man, you know what I mean? I feel bad for this dude, he's probably a good person. But then it was like, okay, this guy is actually not a good person at all. Like, it turns out like he was racist and all that stuff. I don't even know. It's a whole can of worms with that. And, like I said, basically what I'm trying to accomplish here is that just stay neutral, right? Now, I kind of want to do like a little bit of theories when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like I mentioned with the Hypercrystal and Miles theory, like they didn't, because like from what I've heard, they've tried to take down other YouTubers and like make fake allegations of a couple other people. So that added on to my theory that these two didn't want anyone coming close to their perfect reputation in the BFDI community. Think about it. These two were close friends and so close to even, like, right up until the drama happened, they were in a full-on relationship with each other. So, these two basically were trying to be the perfect duo in the community. And it just didn't work out is because they pushed other people out of the way to get to the top. They tried to expose so many people, bro. Like, and I'm not trying to, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to contradict myself from even saying that, but it's like, this is objective fact what actually happened in that. And it's like, wow, bro. Because, like, when you really think about it, it's like, at one point in time, when a lot of people, almost everyone, didn't know about this, like, these two were basically, like, you could, like, some people dreamed of being these two. Like, the Hong twins liked them and stuff like that, everyone liked these guys, right? Perfect duo, friends, and even a couple later on. Like, you know what I mean? Perfect life, right? But turns out it wasn't, is because they were terrible people. And it's just like, wow, bro. It's hard, like, for some people it's hard to believe, and there's still people in his comment section defending him, bro. But yeah, that was just kind of my rant from what I've learned out of being in this community for so long. And just kind of having all this experience, because I've been in the OSC for a couple years now, but I was in the SOSC before this, so yeah. But yeah, that's all for now. See you guys in the next one. Peace. And if you somehow enjoyed this video, then subscribe if you want. Peace.